Hey Speechies, it's Sarah, and like I promised before, my case study this time is all about receptive language and 5 ways you can help a student who's struggling with oral comprehension. So let's jump right in. Number 1, they need visuals, and the more concrete visuals you can provide will help you immensely. So any kind of photo support, that would be perfect for a student that's struggling with comprehension. Different arrows, symbols, in terms of shapes, I'm thinking like of a stop sign, that kind of thing is perfect for working with students that have comprehension issues. 2, really get concrete. We want to be sure we're not doing anything abstract. So for example, my student with comprehension issues that struggled with receptive language, this particular student would just talk random words that made no sense. I just brought that student back right to reality, and we would talk about things that were happening immediately in front of us. So if I had a book, here I am with my visuals, so we're going to talk about exactly what I'm pointing to. This particular student would just talk in English, random English words, even though this was a student that was bilingual. So she could speak Spanish, but she was using only English, and so I would talk to her only in Spanish, and I would make sure everything we were talking about was right in front of us and present, and I would just have to often redirect her. Which leads us to number 3. Number 3 is redirection. I remember this is a different student with a receptive language issue. I remember, and this phrase has stuck with me for years. The student just randomly said, "donuts in space." And so, there was no donuts in space. There was nothing donuts. There was nothing space. So we're redirecting you back to our concrete activity that's right in front of us. Number 4. Limiting those distractions. We have to limit distractions. Sometimes with these students, you might need to see them by themselves. It can be distracting to have a peer. Other times, you've got that one student on your caseload that would be such a great peer model. This is really a clinical judgment issue. Sometimes it's beneficial to have another one in the group. Other times it's not. But whatever the case, limit distractions. This is the kind of student that if you could, you wouldn't want to have a lot of posters on the wall, random stuff going on in the room. If it's the kind of space where I once was in, where I had no walls, they were short walls and there was like no door. That would be a horrible place to work with a student with a comprehension issue. So keep that in mind. Number 5, you're gonna probably need sentence starters. And so you might need to have it written down because the student is struggling with grammar and syntax. They can't put together something that makes sense. You're going to need visuals of how to start a sentence. I would probably have some real pictures of, if it's a student like my donut in space student, maybe it's food. And we would literally go show this, and I would maybe ask a question, what is this? And redirect back to the work, and then have a sentence starter right on the table. It is a donut. It is, if we're talking animals, it is a dog. Depending on the vocab they have, you could move into some more higher level animals. Some students go deep in one kind of category, so you might be able to talk about sloths. Certain students with these comprehension issues have a scattering of strengths and weaknesses. So you could go deep in the animals, even though they struggle with putting together a sentence. So those are just some of my thoughts about receptive language, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.